PTR Radio may be used for promotional purposes at the discretion of the staff. So please, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Tonight by a series of wires. If you're not following our Twitter account, you should. It's at PTR Radio. In fact, Mike, you can check it out. I just tweeted a post of our current rig that we are broadcasting on tonight. That'll give you an idea of just what a patchwork mess job it is just to get on the air this evening. So, but we are on the air nonetheless.
Yes.
Well, okay, wait. Now I can't hear you all of a sudden. Okay.
No, I muted myself.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Again, if you're not following at PTR Radio, you're not seeing this. But that is what we have to deal with tonight. We just need a few more splitters, and then we'll be fine.
More USB.
More USB, more better.
Is there any way? I want to see this larger.
But yeah, that's what's running our studio tonight. All because our last mixer is it just bit the dust, and so But I will tell you this: if you need electronics, Sweetwater.com.
Can I just say, looking at this?
Uh-huh.
I have but one question.
Uh-huh.
And somebody's going to be like, that's your only question, really? The EQ on the mixer.
Yeah.
Why is it
of everything, you pick the EQ.
Is that even functioning?
Yes, it is functioning. I'm knocking down the highs to try and get... This was set this way to try and knock out some of Nate's nasally voice and nose air, for lack of a better term, for when he thought that the microphone needed to be under his nose for every time except for when he was talking.
And suddenly I understand why I sound so much different when I listen back to the recordings.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I think of all of us, you sound the best when on the recordings. To tell you the truth, you know, we're all we all have our own issues. So, but regardless, we are live. If you want to follow along with the show, it's ptrradio.com/live. That's where we'll be keeping an eye out for your messages. Messenger is running. So feel free to chat in there, or if you're with CWE Radio, it's cweradio.com/live. You can listen to the stream. You can chime in with the chat there. They both go the same place, so we'll be able to keep an eye on that. Nate is not here this evening because he had better things to do. We've been off a month, almost, due to technical difficulties, illness, Ebola, the bird flu, hantavirus, and mad cow disease. And he decides that the one night that we're going to go live, he has something better to do. So, even though I just saw him yesterday for half the day, he decided that today. Taking off. Okay.
Well, he had his, he spent so much time with you yesterday.
Yeah.
He thought that was enough.
Which yesterday was Father's Day. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Who's a dad? If you obviously most people have dads. There are some that don't have dads though. If you had a dad and you didn't celebrate it, you're a horrible child, and you should have been aborted.
I was at Six Flags with my dad.
Yeah, so you did a great thing. You took your dad and said, "Let's go ride roller coasters," and your dad said, "Damn right we are," and we're gonna get a hunk of meat on a stick, and or a turkey leg, and your dad was cool with that,
Yeah.
Mike, what'd you do yesterday?
Kim made me dinner, and I sweat my ass off doing the first part of the step rebuild in the backyard.
How many
That was
steps?
It's only one.
One step,
See-
and it requires 2 steps.
Okay, well, here's the issue. The original step, when I built the first deck in the backyard, we realized because of the way the yard slopes, we needed a step.
Mm-hmm.
So a friend of mine and I built that step, but over the course of 3 years, we built the frame out of 2x6, and the water damage just got to be so much that the wood rotted away. So I decided I was going to rebuild the frame out of 4x4s.
Well, that was because you guys had Hurricane Sandy. That's what did it.
12-foot 4x4s are not exactly light or
Nope.
easy to maneuver.
Not as a feather, no. No, they're kind of dense.
Yes. So building the frame out of 4x4s, that took a lot out of me. So by the time I got done last night, I said, you know what? I got enough in me to clean up, and I'll put the deck boards on tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So that's why it was 2 steps.
Okay. I understand that. All right. That's good. See, I'm going to be redoing some of the backyard, building a couple of pergolas, ripping out some bricks that we had laid and putting in some plastic and some rocks and things like that. And I think it's probably going to be a multi-weekend project. But I agree that yard work, pain in the butt.
Yeah.
To make your yard look nice just takes way too much work.
Especially when it's 80 plus degrees with like 150% humidity and the sun beating down on you.
Yeah. It makes no sense. We should really do yard projects in the winter. It would be a lot easier when it was like 30 degrees outside.
Well, we only had like a 2-week window of spring here, so it went from too cold to way too fucking hot.
Within the span of 4 hours today, they changed the forecast, I think, 6 times. Because originally when I woke up this morning, we were supposed to have rain Thursday and Friday. Now they're calling for rain starting this evening and lasting all week.
Yeah, we have rain starting, isolated thunderstorms starting this week, starting tonight. And then Wednesday, 90 degrees with afternoon thunderstorms.
Yeah, don't you hate that?
I don't get it.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but yeah, it happens.
Thursday, 85 with isolated thunderstorms. No, it's supposed to cool off when it rains.
In this case, it only gets hotter. Hotter, hotter, and hotter. Oh, it's crazy. We got because we've been gone so long, there's a lot of news out there that we need to get caught up on. But I think firstly, we need to check in with our death pool because there was a major death yesterday, which your wife made me aware of.
There were quite a few deaths. Shut up. There's quite a few deaths, and surprisingly, no points awarded.
Yeah, no points. You know what though? I got my wife trained because I mentioned to her we were out on the deck yesterday, and I said, "Hey, I noticed that Kim posted that Casey Kasem died," and she goes, "Oh, did anybody get any points?" That was the first thing she said.
I mean, let's go back. We had Jerry Vale, Maya Angelou, Ruby Dee, Casey Kasem,
and now some baseball player, I guess.
Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
No points awarded. In fact, I even went through today and just verified I didn't miss anybody.
Well, that's due diligence for you. Let it never be said, rented lips, that we weren't diligent with our death pool.
See, I thought Casey Kasem was already dead.
Well, he was kind of in a vegetative state.
Yeah.
And you didn't really know where he was.
Yes.
Because he was like hidden. His wife just hid him away from his kids. Said, "You're not going to get him. I'm taking him."
She was worried about the Star Whackers.
Yeah. And the judge says, "No, you can't hide Casey Kasem. He's a national treasure."
And you're watching Gossip.com.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
I definitely think it was.
Oh, it's a damn browser. Okay. Sorry, it's noise coming from my browser. Don't you hate that though? They have an ad that doesn't start until you're on the site for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
No.
Suddenly we're seeming very amateurish.
I know. Oh, speaking of amateur, and this is where, because I'm sure you looked at the post and said, "What's his Bubba What title that he's already assigned to the show?" Because and the reason why this came about is because Saturday, I think it was Saturday I had to go to Walmart. My daily trips to Walmart. And there was a van out front of Walmart, just by the middle entrance of Walmart, and it had in that window marker paint stuff, it had written Bubba Radio in green marker paint on the van, on the windows of the van. And I'm like, okay, the only Bubba I know that's in radio is Bubba the Love Sponge, and he's out of Tampa. I don't think he rented a van, came to the middle of nowhere, put it on marker paint, and decided to sit outside of a Walmart.
Probably not.
And I looked, as I drove past these people to get to my parking spot, I looked inside, and there was one extremely large van. I mean, we're not small people in this studio. This guy was us two together. All right, that's how big he was. He was in the front seat, taking his little Galaxy S and pointing it out the window and then pointing it to the back seat and then pointing it at him, and I mean, he was all over the place with it. So I knew he was doing something with the phone. In the middle seat of the van were three chunky ladies. Now, I mean chunky. Like peanut butter chunky. They were big. And I couldn't tell what he was, really doing. And I'm like, Bubba Radio, that doesn't make any sense, because as far as I know, there was one other station in town that was broadcasting other than us. And they went out of business like a year and a half ago because they tried to make this thing into a commercial venture, and as we all know, there's no money in internet radio unless you embezzle. And then all bets are off.
Or you're already famous.
Yeah. So I go, so that evening I'm laying in bed, and I'm like, damn it, this is bothering me. I want to know who this jackoff is and why he's muscling in on my turf. All right? Not that Walmart is my turf, but internet radio in this town.
There are only so many bits left on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, And in a podunk town like this one, of only 120,000 population, there's only room for one internet radio show. And we'll do this Thunderdome style, goddammit. We will take him down. All right? But we don't have to worry about it because that evening I was looking, I couldn't find anything on my phone about him at all. He's horrible at marketing. And my wife is asking me, what are you looking for? And I explained the whole story to her, and she's like, and you talk about me looking up stupid stuff on the internet. You're stalking a guy that you don't even know who you think does internet radio outside of a Walmart.
Because he wrote something on his van in marker.
I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Don't make fun of me. This is my thing. But then the next day, I looked him up online, and I was actually, because bigger screen, more search area and everything, I was able to find something about him, vaguely about him, trace him back through his Facebook page. And so now I did you know, because I did not know this, did you know that there was a Basement Dwellers internet radio network based out of Springfield? That was the name of the network, Basement Dwellers.
Well, I guess we fit.
Well, we didn't used to, though. We used to be top floor dwellers.
When?
Back when we were in the red room. Upstairs. But
I don't even remember that.
yeah.
Bubba Radio on Ustream.
Yeah, so I found him on Ustream. And if you scroll in a little bit, Mike, you'll see how big this guy is. And his big thing is horror movies. He reminded me a little bit of like Sal, where he was overly interested in horror movies, or at least in my opinion, overly interested, because I'm not interested at all in them.
Or Psycho. That's a good horror movie. That's about it.
And backyard wrestling. He was also big into that, and monster trucks. So he was very rednecky. So I found his Facebook page, and I was contemplating writing him a message saying, "Hey, listen, we got this town already. You'll have to move."
You know what?
What?
First of all, the fact that Bubba Radio in Springfield, Illinois is listed as a company.
Yeah.
Second, no, I am not logging in. You can eat a dick. Second, his shows are only about... Shut up. You know what? I don't care if you were a 4-time cancer survivor. I'm not listening to ads on Ustream. I just... Listen. True story. Ustream destroyed internet radio.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Because, like, when we were back on that other network, like...
And before that, Stickcam destroyed it.
Yes. I mean, I was thinking back. And I remember we actually had wars with other networks. For what?
Yeah. Whose internet radio dick is bigger? That's what it was.
Wild Bunch Radio was one. DEFCON was another.
Mm-hmm.
And
Social Crime Network. Don't forget them.
Crime.
These are all networks that have come and gone.
I was just like, what? But then, it's funny because the guy that got me into it, he don't even do it anymore.
Yeah. Well, he's a constant caller in to our buddy Dune show.
Oh, is he?
He's like constant third host on Skype only, though. At least from when I tune in, because I don't get to catch Dune as much as I wish I did, but I do tune in occasionally.
I mean, look, the reality here is none of us ever thought we would make a career out of this.
Oh, no.
Let alone do we have to, like, I don't go around telling people, bragging about this. If I don't write PTR radio on the back of my truck, people ask, then I tell them, or occasionally, drunk female argument in the bar. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who I am? Mike the 8-Man, internet radio host.
Damn Skippy. We interviewed the owner of Run P. We're
Bubba
somebody,
Radio.
damn it.
And Big Sal E. Graziano.
The damn Skippy. We
No,
were in talks to talk to Gary Busey. That means something.
We talked to somebody who talked to somebody who talked to somebody who
Who
talked to
said
Gary.
we had a chance to talk to Gary Busey?
And fucking Gary Busey went ahead and had to do an Amazon Fire commercial.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But-
mean, but somebody posted a picture the other day of Gary Busey on Facebook.
I just thought it was weird because, all right, before we finish up with this, all right, people have told me, hey, you guys need to go out and do a remote. You need to do a remote show. And I have honestly thought about it. I thought, well, what if we did set up at a bar or somewhere and say, hey, listen, we'll come in, we'll spend, they're not going to pay us to do our show, obviously, but we'll say, hey, listen, we just want to come in, we want some bandwidth, and we'll order $50 worth of food between the three of us, which doesn't take a whole lot anymore.
No.
And we just want to, throw a banner up or whatever while we do our show. I think some people would probably say okay to that. There are some bars around here which don't get any business or, whatever promotion, and they'd let you do that. What I wouldn't do under any circumstances is pull up in the Santa Fe outside Walmart and go, yeah, this is PTR broadcasting live from Walmart, and then you hear somebody on the door, sir, you have to move out of the fire lane. You're blocking traffic.
Yeah. So speaking of Gary Busey, click that link I just posted in the chat.
Okay. Gary Busey versus young Jason Voorhees.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah, yeah. He's
the mirror image.
Yeah, he's got kind of derp eyes.
He's
or derp eye. One eye's fine. He's got derp eyes.
He is Jason Voorhees.
Oh, I don't.
Fuck Gary Busey. That's all I got to say at this point.
Yeah. Fuck him and his Amazon Fire. But I don't need the Amazon Fire. I have a Roku box.
Pants.
Wait a second. So because folks, what you don't know is before we started the show, Mike didn't have a shirt on.
No, I didn't.
Right? And he said, "Don't worry, I'll put a shirt on before the show." And now I just heard him because I don't know if he heard. He looks down and he goes, "No pants."
No, I said, "Hello, pants."
Oh, I thought you said no pants.
And like, "Hello, lamp."
I thought you were maybe.
No pants.
I thought maybe you were sitting there with just a shirt and boxers on.
It could happen.
Because the camera couldn't see any lower. I thought maybe this was like a conference call at work for you.
And suddenly you'd be refusing to take a break because I'd be getting up to get something to drink. The interweb ain't gonna see my ass, but you will.
No, at some point, at break time, I just switched the camera over to statically on yours because remember I started this so I can set the camera.
Whatever.
But no, like I said, I just thought it was stupid. I'd never park outside of a Walmart that I wasn't invited to and do a live broadcast like that because that just seems creepy.
No, and
really creepy in a rape van with your logo on it.
I've always wanted to do a remote broadcast at some bar, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is, we ain't famous enough.
No, I mean
So
it would
it'd be kind of creepy. And with my luck, we'd pick a bar on like family night.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, come here, little kid, come talk to me. No, that's bad.
Yeah, no good.
No.
Broadcasting tonight from Chuck E. Cheese.
Or we'd pick we'd pick like a bar that was really big into soccer right around like now the World Cup time, and so it would be so loud you wouldn't be able to hear us anyway. Which would be my worst fear.
The only other bar that I would even consider doing that here, like I would do it at the bar that I go back to after our hockey games, because they could set us up like upstairs. Right. They have an upstairs area, so we'd be out of the way. The only other bar that I would even entertain doing this is Hooters. And even then, it's questionable.
Yeah. But I am going to get a little bit of that experience, not broadcasting myself, but one of my favorite shows, Free Beer and Hot Wings, which is where we get a lot of material from, for the show, and just ideas about bits. Like the whole idea about the pyramid game came from them because they played it. Of course, they stole it from somebody else. It's the whole thing. If you steal from somebody else, who stole from somebody else, etc. They're actually coming to Springfield in July, and they're going to be doing a live show in the morning at Quaker Steak and Lube. And I have a VIP ticket so that I can go see that broadcast and see kind of hopefully what happens a little bit as far as the setup during and everything, so that I can see an actual professional radio show for once do the radio show correctly. So I think that's going to be exciting for me. Probably not nearly as exciting for everybody else, because they're not going to be interested in, ooh, I wonder what mixer they're using. Ooh, I wonder how good those microphones are. They're just thinking, woohoo, I get an excuse to drink at 4 a.m. Me, I'm interested in the technical stuff behind the scenes.
Oh, I would have been all over that. Listen, if we were still on that other network and doing a telethon, I would have driven down to, like, by Atlantic City. There's a bar that's open 23 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
They close from 6 to 7 every morning to clean up.
To scrape the vomit off the floor.
I would have done a remote from there.
Yeah.
And I would have drank all 23 hours.
I think the closest thing we've done to a remote is when we broadcast from my deck.
Nope.
Oh, are you talking about
the mobile mixer?
The mobile mixer in Dune's car, right? When we did, when some of us did a show from car to car, driving to Virginia. That is the closest. And now I found a new feature that we might be able to do. If for some reason we need to go somewhere or I need to go somewhere and do something, or if one of us has to get up for any reason other than to go to the bathroom, obviously, I now have it set to where I can take a feed from a cell phone and pipe it into the Hangout.
Now, see, this is why I didn't answer your call to join the Hangout as quickly, because it was ringing on my fucking phone. I'm looking at it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I run down, which is why I had no shirt on when I got here originally.
Hey, that's okay. It used to ring on my phone all the time, and then I finally turned off that notification. But it is neat because now with the camera program I'm using on my desktop, I can broadcast from my phone any internet connection, cell phone. It doesn't have to be on the same network. So that may be something that we do later on, is if somebody can't be here or whatever, they want to be or they need to head out, we just might say take a mobile cam, and then we hook it up and boom, you're gone. Could be fun. I don't know. It's the advancements in technology which make this all possible. But, all right, with that being said, we should probably get to some content.
Okay, listen, I want to point out something, because you posted something on the Facebook page about a movie being available on Netflix.
Yes, I did.
Which was our favorite movie,
yes,
Iron Sky, the director's cut.
Voted PTR Best Award winner 2014 or 2013, yeah.
So I watched some other movies on Netflix this past week, and I would like to see if anybody saw them and get some opinions. The first one being World War Z.
I have not seen that, but I heard that there was some really good scenes in it. I didn't see it because, of course, it's a horror movie. It has to do with zombies. But I heard there's some interesting things, and they're fast zombies in that movie, not the slow, pokey zombies like normal.
Oh, they're very fast zombies. And, by the way, both the regular and the unrated versions are on Netflix. So make sure you watch the unrated version.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I didn't know they're up yet. That's one movie I've been wanting to see, just because when the son of Mel Brooks writes a book and they make a movie about it, I have to see it.
Well, they said it didn't line up to the movie much, or it didn't line up to the book much at all. They changed a lot of major plot points.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's still a Brooks.
Yeah.
It was not bad. Now, if you want a thought-provoking movie,
Mm-hmm.
today I watched After the Dark.
Okay. I haven't seen that one.
This is a movie about some high school students and their teacher, and it's a philosophy class. And the last day of the year, the premise is that he presents them with a problem. Nuclear apocalypse is coming. You have a bunker designed to only hold 10 people. There are 21 people. Who gets to live?
Hmm.
Now, it's thought-provoking because the ending... Now, there are plot holes all through this thing.
Well,
Believe me.
yes, I would think so.
But the ending is one of those that if you're intellectual, like I am, you think about it, you're like, wait a minute, did he just pull an M. Night Shyamalan ding dong? The Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis was dead the entire time? Oh, wait, spoiler alert. It's very interesting. So I am going to put that as my must-view of the week.
Okay. See, I had the opportunity to watch an interesting movie. It was a documentary of Styles on Netflix, which I normally, I like to watch them. Nobody else likes to watch them, so I have to find that time when nobody's home. So I watched Did God Create the Universe? From Stephen Hawking and the Discovery Channel.
I'll see right off the bat, I'm out.
You're out.
I don't care. I'm here now. I don't care how I got here. I am here now. Trying to figure out how I got here is only going to piss me off more. Because I'm going to find somebody to beat me up or beat up.
Well, this is less
Or
about
beat me
you.
up. I don't know.
This is less about you, the person, and more about the mechanics of the universe.
Okay.
And who's responsible for that, or who, or what, or if there is any role in the universe for God, given all the scientific things that we know or assume. It's a really interesting watch if you have an open mind, not just to religion, but also to scientific principle and the like, and especially if you like Stephen Hawking, because while he's not very animated, obviously, he does have some really good little stares, and it's weird the amount of emotion and I don't know, physicality just simply moving his eyes and his eyebrows can raise in a single scene. It's very weird. And there's this cool transition between his computerized voice and the regular an actor's voice that they have for him, which is pretty good. If you like Stephen Hawking Explains the Universe, this is kind of a branch off of that. So, which I did.
I mean, I'm looking back at my history here. I also watched Odd Thomas recently.
Is that a cartoon?
No. It stars the kid that plays Chekhov in the new Star Trek movies.
Oh, okay.
Anton Yelchin, is that his name?
Is that the guy that's Harold or Kumar?
No.
Oh, no. That's a little Chekhov. Okay, I gotcha.
Right? And apparently he can see the dead.
Oh.
And nobody else can. So he has to. The dead come back to him to get him to avenge them. So that was pretty good. Supposedly that was based on a book. And it was meant to be a series, but didn't do so well.
Yeah, see, I've added more stuff to my Netflix queue than I've actually watched because they did come out with a few new movies. Some of the things I added was Cloak and Dagger, very good 80s style Disney movie. 3 Men and a Baby, Eddie Murphy's Delirious, The Great Muppet Caper, Sequest DSV, Phineas and Ferb the movie. Star Trek Into Darkness is now on Netflix if you're interested. That's one that
I did watch that.
G.I. Joe Retaliation, added
Watched that.
Were those ones you were going to talk about?
No, I'm actually going through it because I also watched the whole season 2 of Orange Is the New Black.
Yeah, I got a request for somebody to try and grab the season sets for those. So, and then I added Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 and Wayne's World and a couple other little ones. So, you'll notice a lot of comedies and things in my list.
Have you actually watched House of Cards?
No, not yet.
Okay.
You should.
You should, yeah.
House of Cards is very good.
I know it's critically acclaimed. It's got Kevin Spacey in it, and it's in its third season now.
It's going into its third.
Yeah, I think it's it's a Netflix original, so, and I love the speech that Spacey gave when he didn't, because they won an Emmy for that. Is that right?
Yeah, he was at.
So.
He's done the speech several times in different award shows. So.
Yeah, about how no other network would touch him, and then Netflix gave him the chance. It was, I liked the speech. It was good. So, but yeah. Nope. Next thing I'm watching is When Aliens Attack. Another documentary about how aliens might find us and why it wouldn't be so great for us.
The next thing I think, I keep trying to get Kim to sit down so we can watch We're the Millers. But God damn it, she won't. I can't get her to sit still long enough to watch a damn movie. So I may say I'm done with you. I'm done waiting.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just can't wait for somebody else. You got to do it. You got to pull the trigger and do it.
No. And she still wants to go see Transformers 4 just because Marky Mark is in it. So,
I want to go see that
hey,
too
truck.
Because Marky Mark's in it.
Yeah.
I like Mark Wahlberg. I don't know what it is. I like him.
It's
He's a good actor.
hey, truck, are you a Transformer? That's pretty awesome, man.
Ever since
a Transformer.
ever since the Italian Job, I've really liked him. I don't know what it is. I just really liked him.
I've liked him since Renaissance Man.
Oh yeah, he was in that. He did do really well in that. That's right.
I'm from Willacoochee, Georgia, Bill.
Yeah, see, you forget all these other, not little roles, but roles that he's been in, because he's been around for a long time.
Or Rockstar.
See, somebody else said I loved him since Ted. I'm like, okay, well, you haven't loved him that long.
No.
And that was,
Last year.
yeah. So, which I still haven't watched that yet.
I haven't either.
But, that's because I think it's just one of those beat you over the head with comedy, and I don't know if I'm into that.
Haunted Mansion. Were you watching that to get ready for to go to the Haunted Mansion? Or?
No, the wife likes that, and I like Eddie Murphy, and so we're gonna get into that in the second hour, I think. And so yeah, we got a big thing to talk about during the second hour. I did a big announcement at home. Everybody will find out what it was. And Mike, I don't even think you know about that one.
I think I do. Was this the announcement that was a surprise?
Yes, it was. Yeah, you're right. You do know. Yep. So that was that'll come up in hour 2. We'll talk about that. So, Mike, what other movies did you watch?
I'm trying to think. There was other ones because I think I may have said that I've found a way around paying for the movie channels through DirecTV. Since my parents subscribe to all of them on Comcast, I just
borrow their number.
Well, not even their number, since I have since my name is still on the Comcast account.
Well, there
as
you
an
go.
Authorized user. So now I have HBO Go, Showtime Anywhere, Stars Play, Encore Play. I have not looked in if Cinemax is one of them, but it probably is. So I think I said last show I watched Here Comes the Boom with Kevin James. Grown Ups 2, I watched that.
Yeah, I didn't care for Grown Ups 1. I wasn't about to watch Grown Ups 2.
Grown Ups 2 actually was not bad. But
have you watched Veep?
No, I have not.
That's on HBO. That's not a movie; it's a TV show, but it's an HBO show. Very, very funny.
Like, as soon as I tell people, oh, now I got HBO Go, they're all like, oh, dude, are you watching True Blood? No. I have no desire to watch. Suck it. No, I don't care. However, Game of Thrones is starting to tempt me. I may have to go and watch Game of Thrones.
Just had its season finale, which was huge, evidently.
Yeah.
I'm not a big watcher of that, so I don't know. I want to talk about this article real quick because we talked
No,
about
you
this.
don't.
No, I don't. Okay.
Yes,
Because we
Dave-
did talk about this one.
yes, we did.
No. This is a follow-up.
Oh, okay.
This is
Okay.
a follow-up.
I don't know how to take a ding back. So.
Yeah, I don't know either.
This is a follow-up. Yes, we did talk about this man from Madison, Maine, who was interviewed by the police because he came out on his front yard and complained about a landscaping company next door, and they called the cops on him because they saw his tattoo in his waistband, which looked like a gun, because it was a tattoo of a gun in his waistband. All right? That was the original story that we covered several months ago. Follow up, because this is the kind of guy this guy is. A man with a realistic-looking tattoo of a gun on his stomach had the real thing tucked into his waistband when he was arrested, police said. Police told the Morning Sentinel that 41-year-old Michael Smith of Norridge showed up at a sheriff's deputy's home Thursday night. He was crying and had been drinking, authorities said. Smith told police he had had a fight with his ex-girlfriend and had stolen prescription narcotics from her. He was charged with stealing drugs, and his gun was confiscated. He was released from jail on $1,000 bail. His phone has been disconnected, and he couldn't be reached for comment. He was carrying a .40 caliber Glock, but isn't facing any gun charges because Maine is an open carry state, and his weapon was clearly visible. Court date is August 6th for public intoxication, theft of narcotics, that kind of stuff. So this is a follow-up to the case that we had before where we, I think, said this is the kind of guy that is going to get in trouble again because he can't stay out of trouble. Anybody that gets a tattoo of a gun along their waist so that it looks like they have a gun shoved down their pants is a problem.
Yeah, and I think we even said eventually the whole idea is people get used to seeing the tattoo, so when he has a real gun there, they don't think twice about it.
Yeah, except for in this case, he was drunk and crying when he knocked on a sheriff's door. What kind of an idiot? I'm so lonely, my girlfriend left me. I'm going to go knock on the door of a police officer with my gun in my pants and admit all my crimes.
I see a lot of that, though.
You see a lot of people admitting their crimes drunk and on a police officer's front porch?
There's a story either last week or 2 weeks ago. A cop had got in his car, started his patrol, and his car was hit, T-boned, going through an intersection.
Mm-hmm.
And so he got out, he went over to the driver to make sure he was okay, and asked for his license and registration. The driver said, "Oh, okay," and handed the cop his beer to hold on to it while he got his license out.
One of my friends on Facebook posted a video where a guy got pulled over and the cop is giving him the sobriety test and then starts doing like choreography with him. Right? Like step right, step left, step, kickball chain, and the guy's like, "Oh no, you know what? We should do this and the other thing." She's like, "You're pretty good. Are you a dancer?" He's like, "No, I'm just drunk." And she's like, "Ah, gotcha." Ah.
Speaking of interesting people, Florida man known as Fat Boy hides marijuana in belly fat.
Yeah, I saw this popped up in my newsfeed too, but I didn't click on the article to read it. But
yeah, evidently,
oh my God!
Evidently, he was a passenger in a vehicle. The driver was pulled over, and while they were doing a standard citation, I don't know if it was for speeding or failing to stop at a stop sign, whatever it was. The officer noticed that the two people in the car were acting very nervous, and so he asked them to get out and patted them down, and found 23 grams of marijuana under this man's fat. Police also found a handgun in the middle console and $7,000 in cash stuffed in a tube sock. In addition, there was cocaine on the driver. And it would all started for not wearing a seatbelt. It's what started this whole thing.
Dude.
So, when you're committing a felony,
Multiple
buckle
felonies.
up.
When many felonies are being committed,
Yeah.
don't do a simple citation.
Yeah. Remember to buckle up, signal, hands at 10 and 2, look back before you back up, do all the simple things.
Accelerate smoothly.
Yeah, come to a full and complete stop at every stop sign.
Yes.
Stop at the white lines when you're coming to an intersection. All those things. Signal when you change lanes. All those things could keep you from getting busted when you're breaking multiple felonies. I just couldn't believe this guy. He hid the marijuana in his fat rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want to get that big where I can use it to hide stuff.
Well, the sad part is, according to this article, he was busted in 2002, and he put on 200 pounds since then.
Well, yeah, because he was convicted in 2002 of trafficking cocaine. He stopped doing cocaine and switched to marijuana. He got the munchies. I haven't seen too many people hooked on coke that are fat. They're up, they're doing stuff, they're moving. They got energy.
Or they're having a heart attack.
Yeah. But they're not sitting there eating a bag of Doritos.
Although this man may have gotten so big that he decided he was just going to go a little further. Like, he stopped doing cocaine, right? Mm-hmm. But then he started putting on weight, and he decided, I'm going to get so big that my belly comes up and I can just do lines off my belly. That's called lazy man drug addict.
Lazy man drug. Okay.
Be sitting there on the couch just all laid out, and he's like, hey, yo, Debo, come here, man. Straighten out these lines for me, man. Right here on my belly. Come on. Or on his man boob, just line, off of each boob.
Is he going to use a crazy straw so that he doesn't have to even bend over?
Oh, shit. Either that or even just the elbow straw. This way it's more like, so it's like, man, if you're not watching on the cam, I mean, you're missing.
You're missing an instructional video. But, yeah, no, but I saw this and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that. So yeah, busted for not wearing a seatbelt, and hopefully they'll be taken off for a while. So.
Yeah, I don't.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking back to this whole cocaine versus marijuana thing.
All right.
Which, of course, I just don't understand because, I've never done any drugs.
Do you want to do a blind taste test? We'll try it up, see which one you like better.
No. I mean, I smoke, obviously. I've cut back a lot, but I still smoke. And I realize now that if I had never taken that first cigarette, my life would be so much different, and I'd have so much more money.
Well, yeah.
So why would I even tempt fate by doing something that everyone knows is addictive and bad for you and really expensive, but I want to do it anyway? I don't get it.
Well, this falls right in line with, actually, there was a Reddit poll that was posted that, not necessarily what would you not do if you could do it over again. It was asked, what is something you will never do again?
Eat Brussels sprouts.
Oh, I love Brussels sprouts.
What's wrong with Brussels sprouts? A little bacon in there, it's all good.
Especially nice fresh ones.
Listen, that is the one thing that bacon will not make better. You could wrap Brussels sprouts in a pound of bacon each. I'm still not eating them.
I had asparagus wrapped bacon Sunday. That was good.
Hy-Vee?
No. Oh. We made it ourselves. We're not highfalutin like that. We don't need to go to Hy-Vee.
Speaking of which, did you know that Reddit users sponsored a NASCAR car?
Doesn't surprise me. Reddit does everything.
For 3 races total. One race actually had Reddit on it. The other 2 races had Dogecoin.
Okay. I thought this Dogecoin, a sponsor to one.
Well, no, Reddit was also listed like as the associate sponsor.
Oh, okay.
But here's the funny part: it was in the All-Star race, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fan vote. You can there's certain qualifications to make it to the main All-Star race, right?
Yeah.
Then you have what they call like a heat race for people that aren't eligible off the bat to try and the top 2 finishers there make their way in, and then there's a fan vote. Now, for the past year or two, Danica Patrick has been the most popular driver that got the fan vote.
Because she has boobs. Yep.
This year, because Dogecoin or Dogecoin, whatever, and Reddit were sponsoring a virtual nobody, guess who won the fan vote?
The virtual nobody?
Yes.
Reddit is very powerful. I mean, it is ridiculous.
There were 17 cars in the All-Star race, and even the Reddit users knew that the only way that Josh Wise was going to win was if 16 other cars crashed.
Oh my God!
But they sponsored him and they voted. One guy from Reddit voted 85,000 or 84,000 times to get him in there, and Danica was pissed.
Well, yeah.
And the funny part is that she is dating another NASCAR driver who was not in the race, and damn well that she came back to the trailer, and he was just like, oh, shit. Imagine if it was her time of the month, and she didn't win the vote.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to find out if Reddit was registered through GoDaddy, just to kind of twist the knife a little bit,
Oh, that would have been hysterical.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
So...
That would have been, oh man, there's a Twitter account, NASCAR Sarcasm. If Reddit was registered through GoDaddy, could you imagine oh my God.
Uh,
Why the hell didn't I think of that back when it still would have been relevant on this guy's Twitter account? Shit.
Here. I looked at the wrong one, damn it. But yeah, I was, but yeah, so Reddit asked their users, what is something you will never do again?
Oh, yeah.
Because we've all had the thing, like Mike, Brussels sprouts. He'll never do that again.
No.
So Colin, what's something you'll never do again?
Buy a hot tub.
Didn't work out so well?
Add that to my list too.
That was a colossal waste of money.
Okay. See, now I want a hot tub, so
that's because you haven't seen the power bill yet.
Oh yeah, well
Shaggy, I will make you a deal.
What if I come out and get it?
If you come out and get it, shit. Not only will I put you up, you could stay here for a little while, but if you come out and get it, I will cut you such a break.
So not a good choice then, huh? Probably better to get one of those infinity pools.
Honestly, if Kim and I talked about it, if we could have done it again, we would still have gotten a hot tub, but we would have gotten one of those smaller ones that's like a triangle shape that fits like 2 or 3 people max.
Okay.
This way, one, it wouldn't be as much power. 2, it would be easier to maintain. I mean, when the water levels start getting out, okay, guess what? Drain it. It's like, what, 100 gallons?
Yeah. So here's some of the things that they suggested. Fire 815 says, force a fart out after a night of drinking. With a follow-up of, alcohol shits are real, spread the awareness. Harry Hayes says 60 hours without sleep. You're perfectly fine until your body goes, you know what? Maybe I don't want to work. I've done that. I did 54 hours. That was the longest I went. and I
I
wouldn't advise it.
I did 40, 49.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Well, no. You know what? It turned out it was 49 hours on my second trip to Vegas, and I was fine until about an hour before I went to sleep, which is when I realized I've been up for 48 hours straight. Didn't occur to me until after that. And then an hour later, I'm passed out on the couch that's to the point where they're poking me with a stick to make sure I'm not dead because I'm in such a deep sleep.
To hear something else, will never volunteer to be shot with a taser again. If it happens against my will, oh well. I'm just not making that choice again. Hurts like hell. Now that was something that Rambo, who follows us on A Little Punch Drunk, they were trying to raise funds so that they could buy a taser so that they could shock him weekly. Because he had this idea that he would get a tolerance to the taser.
Now, wait a second.
I don't think you build a tolerance to electricity.
I'd swear that I've seen a taser or a stun gun. What's the difference?
A stun gun is up close and personal, isn't it?
Okay, because a stun gun, you can get a stun gun for $20 off like IHaveToHaveThat.com.
Right. The taser is the one that actually shoots with the barbs and everything.
I think taser just name brand.
Just name brand? Okay. Yeah.
But it's the same effect. So
yeah, it's very similar.
Or get a cattle prod.
Well, they were looking for a particular one where they could keep cranking up the voltage, where it was adjustable.
That's just fucking stupid.
Hey, I wasn't the one doing it.
That's right.
I just heard
it.
about
That's just fucking stupid. That's being greedy. That's like if somebody's going to give you a car and they want to give you a Pontiac Vibe instead of a Grand Prix. Well, now you're just being greedy.
Never accept the Vibe. It's ugly. It's so ugly.
Okay, if somebody's going to give you a Cadillac.
No, I'm sorry, an Aztec. Never take an Aztec. A Vibe you can take.
Or like somebody's ready to give you a Tahoe and you're like, but I want a Suburban. Now you're being greedy.
Yeah. Now you're just you know. Let's see here. Somebody said have sex with a crazy. Did that.
That is inevitable.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that everybody has to do once.
Yeah. At some point it will happen. Let's see here. What else? They procrastinating on things that I know I should be doing, like major stuff, such as getting back into school and finding a new job. No, you're going to keep procrastinating about stuff. You can say you're never going to do it again, but you're going to do it again.
You're going to, if you say that I'm never going to procrastinate again,
you're going to procrastinate about doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you are someone who procrastinates once or twice, you will continue because it's like hitting the snooze.
Yes.
Nobody ever just hits the snooze one time in their life. Oh yeah, I remember October 3rd, I hit the snooze, my only time. No, you hit the snooze every day.
It's the biggest damn button on the clock. It's taunting you to hit it.
And hit it often. So yeah, if you have more things like this, let us know in the chat, ptrradio.com/live. Never do again allow, according to Rambo here, never do again allow co-hosts to have sex with each other. Does tasers have the barbs and shoot out, stun guns don't, which is what we thought. So
Wait,
I don't think.
Are you watching the chat?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I will say we will never allow co-hosts to have sex with each other. I'm just gonna say that right now. We got that one covered.
I will get the taser.
If that happens, we'll get the taser. I think we all would agree that we'd get tased first before
yes
before the other one. That would happen. If it was a choice of every night you go live you have to get tased or have sex with someone on the show, Tase me, bro.
No.
Tase me.
If that's the case, then we're finding ourselves a new host.
So,
And she better be pretty.
she better be pretty and willing.
And willing, yes.
Very open-minded. And we're doing it at your house, Colin, not mine. We're changing locations again. So,
Suddenly,
In that case, she also better be willing to clean.
okay, then.
I suddenly feel like if that were to happen, Kim would become a co-host.
There you go. See?
Sitting there like, listen, you are not going to be watching.
I thought maybe you'd be saying that she'd be wanting it every Monday night, you know?
Big titty bitch co-host.
So,
She put her fucking J-Lo hoops in and get all gangsta on me.
So, let's see here. We probably need to take a quick break, and this time we're going to play it and see how it works. There's a new epic rap battle out. And this one, I just previewed it. It stars Weird Al. Weird Al Yankovic in an epic rap battle.
As Isaac Newton.
That's almost as good as when Snoop Dogg was Moses.
Yes.
This is great. So everybody stay tuned. This is PTR Radio. We'll be back in just a few.
Of all the scientific minds in history, they put me kind of poor guy up against me. I'm a master. I discovered gravity. I dropped rhymes like the fallen from an apple tree. And for me, you got a bachelor degree. I got a unit of force named after me. You want a battle guy? Like the crazy notion. When I start throwing out strange emotion. Did you catch that? Or did you too fast for your task? It'd be better if I had it in a blade for a blue for us, so I can tell the fair. When I'm drifting, I'm God, yeah, I unlock the fuck that's our dance with. You can debate and creation is what I create the science you explain to kids.
That's true. What I used to do is teach kids things on the TV show. I do what I gotta do to make sure scientific thought can grow. In my time, hitting my stride. What'd you do with the back of the line? Down started going to the bank and you sure didn't have no way. Oh, woke up gravity. No way. Do it. I was exemplary. What you circle up is my shot. You wanna mess with the guy built on. I fucking do to drink at the nursery, cause I hypothesized that you're robbing me. I concluded that was a whack. You wouldn't even and one of my classes. Reaction, the equal and opposite reaction. For only both of rapid. Accelerated the mind of mankind to a higher plane. Understand, man, I calculate the weight, the size, and the shape of the shadow of the mind you'll stand. And it will leave you with a page from book I wrote at half your age. Three. The interesting why you go to one sector feels like a baby. Others for it agree. I'm a big
why don't you pick on in your own size? I got a badass over here. Plus I got your black guy. So this is black guy. Hating military fly. But with the answer to your little calculation is passing by with the swag. The science Isaac Newton was lying and sticking daggers and lighters and hiding inside the attic on some Harry Potter business. The first infinite with this battle is picnic. Hold war!
Good channel. They're going on the end of the third season now, I think. They're just about wrapping up the third season. And so, good show to watch on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, you really should be. And that's Nice Peter and Nice Peter 2, also vlogs that you should follow for now. I got to give them a little bit of props since they let us use that stuff so often. So, really good, and we appreciate those guys. Thanks a lot. All right, second hour of the show. Brought to you by Hamburger Helper. That's right, Hamburger Helper. It's what's for dinner. Just add a pound of beef, a little bit of milk, and you've got dinner ready to go. Hamburger Helper. Eat some tonight.
And the United States soccer team.
Yeah, so they did, because I know originally they thought that they were going to be, just trounced.
Well, they're
because their lineup was really tough.
They planned to get trounced at some point. But they did not get trounced.
I mean, we're not the best at soccer or football, as the rest of the world calls it.
We are the best at football.
We're the best at American football.
Yes, nobody else can even compete with us at American football.
And I think we're probably the best at baseball.
No.
Well, we're not the best at baseball.
Not when we do international competitions.
Okay.
Not so much.
Oh, all right. We suck at cricket too.
Yeah.
So but speaking of all those sports, I was going through today, and I saw an article about all of the disheveled previous Olympic villages and Olympic venues that have happened, and they went all the way back to the Hitler Olympics, and posted pictures of those and how badly things are. Funny enough, the Olympics that Hitler hosted and those places look just as bad as wasn't Sochi, because Sochi doesn't look horrible yet, but it's definitely getting there. But I know Greece, it looks horrible, and London just reused a lot of the existing stuff that they had, so they're not too bad.
Yeah, I tell them we're just temporary sites.
Yeah, but I mean, just to see the stuff, I don't know why you even host the Olympics anymore. In fact, now they're having countries back out.
Yep.
They had, I think, 2 or 3 drop out last week.
Norway and some others, yeah.
Yeah. And what's crazy is last year, Chicago was in it. They really wanted the Olympics in Chicago. And I'm thinking, why? There is so much money involved in trying to host the Olympics, and you have nothing up there. It's just not going to work. People would be renting hotel rooms down here 3.5 hours away for a Chicago Olympics.
Hey, it depends how much money people will be willing to give us to stay in our houses.
Interesting enough, they did a look at the London Olympics. They had an independent financial analyst go through the London books, because London said, look, we brought in all this money when we did the Olympics. It didn't cost us anything. We made a surplus. So there was a profit of money. The independent financial analysis that happened on the book said, no, they made it up. That didn't happen at all. It cost them a shit ton of money.
Yes.
And they're just lying to you.
Although it was a metric shit ton.
No, it's Queens.
Euro shit
England,
ton.
it was a Euro shit ton. It was a pound shit ton, is what it was.
Yes.
So a stone shit ton was what we can call it. But so I'm thinking, why? Why do we even do this? There should be four places in the world that you can have the Olympics. I want London, Australia, the U.S., and pick some godforsaken European country. I don't care which one. All right? I prefer not an Uzbekistan or something like that. France. I want France. All right? I like them. Or Italy. Italy's cool. We'll go with them. They don't cause too many problems since we kicked Mussolini's ass. But, so I think we should have 4 venues, and it should just rotate. What do you think about that idea?
I think they should just have some of it here, some of it there.
No. You got to have everything in one spot.
Why?
Because the athletes need the bone. And you can't do that if it's everywhere. It's really proven. Again, another thing that I read, that there is a lot of boning that goes on at the Olympics. A huge amount of boning. Olympic Village is just one gigantic orgy, according to what I read. It's ridiculous the amount of sex that goes on. So much so that there are bowls of condoms in the hotel lobbies. In the lobbies that the athletes are staying in, bowls of condoms.
That's where all the money for the underruns went, and why there was no plumbing in the rooms.
I'm just like, all right, I understand it. You're pent up. You're getting out from underneath your coach for the first time in 12 years, which is your whole life for some of these people, you know, and you want to, you know, bang. That's what you want to do. And especially if your sport's over.
I just want to bang, bang, bang.
If your event's over and you're not doing anything for the rest of the Olympics, but you got to be there for the team, then what else is there to do? Just bang, bang, bang. And until we have an Olympic bang competition, which one of these days will happen,
yeah,
you know, it'll be another X Games, you know, then we'll you know, it'll be the triple X Games.
This is the new version of the bobsled.
Hey, have you seen some of the stripper pole contests that they have over in Europe? Those things are ridiculous. In fact, in like France's Got Talent, they had a pole dancer going to the finals.
All right. I just sent you a link.
All right.
You keep saying it. I'm going to put a wager that we are not...
I just want bang, bang, bang.
It's being stupid. So hold on a second. Let me get... You don't think we're going to get a copyright infringement for this one, huh?
I just want bang, bang, bang.
So, I'm sorry, we didn't hear anything.
No,
we didn't hear anything. But as long as it went over the stream, I don't care.
I'll put it on Facebook, on the page.
Punch Drunk asking if I read that on the Onion, the Sex Olympics. No, I didn't. It's just it's an idea that I've actually had we've been talking about for a couple of years now. Every time the Olympics come up, we always say that you know pretty soon they're going to have to award a gold medal for blowjobs, you know, and pole dance, and you know all the there's different events obviously. You know, you got a first, second, and third in anal. That's just what needs to happen. I don't know how
they
they're
already have
that.
those. It's the AVN Awards.
Pole vaulting.
Pole vaulting. Whole new way. Whole new direction. So, all right. I'm going to talk about the surprise I'd been planning for a while. And first of all, I want to say thank you, Colin, because you have been completely invaluable during this whole event. And I'll explain why here. About 3 weeks ago now, I sent a note off to Colin saying, "Hey, Colin, I kind of screwed up with the wife. I didn't remember the date of my anniversary correctly. It's not a good thing. I suggest everyone write it down. I got it confused with my daughter's birthday, so at least I got it confused with another good date. I thought it was the 24th. It turns out it was the 21st. And I accidentally booked a work trip on my anniversary." Mike, you have a look of disgust.
How are you still alive?
Well, we're getting to that part. She was not very happy. And so I knew I needed to do something. And I kind of got to this point because I know we talked about it several years ago on a show that we were doing that said some of the tips for being happy. One of the things is don't buy possessions, buy memories. I don't know if that resonates with some of you, but that sometimes you have to change your mindset a little bit and understand what you need to do. So I thought, you know what? All right, one, I need something to get me out of the doghouse, and two, I need to do something really nice. You know, just in general for the anniversary and everything else. And we've been talking about going on a trip this summer anyway. And So I thought, you know what? Instead of just going on a vacation, on, like a 3-day weekend, which is going to end up costing me like almost $800, why don't I just go ahead and go the extra way, go the extra mile? And since we were dating, she's been telling me how much she wants to go back to Disney World. Or Disneyland, which one's in Florida? Disney World. I don't know. I don't keep track of this stuff. But she wants to go back, and she wants to see Mickey. She wants to see Mickey so bad. She got a tattoo of Mickey on her calf. All right? That's how bad she likes Mickey Mouse. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I just look into what it's going to take to book a trip? And so I knew Colin had been to Disney World.
Yes.
I'm like, I know he's been there, so maybe he can shoot me a link, and tell me about, where I need to go to hook this up. So I send Colin a message saying, hey, would you be interested in giving me some hints about where to go for Disneyland or Disney World? And what approximately was your response?
Let me actually pull the text up. It was approximately, you have no idea how much I enjoy planning Disney trips.
So at that point, I'm like, wow, all right, well, Colin really likes this, and I know nothing about it because I've never been there. So what can I do to just let Colin plan this? So Colin sends me a few links, says register here, register your credit card here. And then I say, okay, I did all that. Here's my user ID and password. Go. I said, credit card's on file. Go. And so he clicks a few buttons, and within a little while, he sends me a note back saying, okay, everything's in your cart and ready to go. Check out when you reviewed it. All you have to do is buy plane tickets. So I look at it. Again, this is like 3 weeks ago. I decide, all right, God, it took me forever to pull the trigger. I was sitting here going, man, that's a lot of money. That is a lot. I can do a lot with that money. That is a lot of money. And then I'm like, screw it. Enter. Go. I'm like, no turning back now. And so I did that, and then I booked the flight. And so since then, it's been kind of planning what's going to happen once we get there.
Yep.
And Colin, again, has come to the rescue saying, well, all right, I'll set up all your fast passes. You need to go here. I suggest these places for restaurants. He sent me like a 4-page thing about everything from getting ready to leave the airport here in St. Louis to directions to the airport in Orlando from within there.
Uh-huh.
And then, what all is going to happen when we're there, a complete itinerary, restaurants, everything. And so if you're looking to plan a trip to Disney, might I suggest this totally unofficial PTR travel agent, which is not associated in any way with Disney World, but should be.
Yes. Just give you an idea of, Mike, the detail I went into. I included stuff like what kind of purse his wife should have while in the parks, and commentary of, because you wear these bands kind of like a watch. It's how you get around in the parks. So I included instructions like, okay, so then you're going to go to the Southwest counter and you're going to check your luggage. Then before you actually give the luggage to the TSA, check to make sure you know where the magic bands are.
So basically, you got a pig in a poke itinerary here.
Yes, I do. I got a pig and a poke itinerary.
Wow.
But even after that, he's been finessing it.
Yes.
Even after the initial, because he tells me, he's like, this is version 1 of your itinerary. There will be more revisions. And so he's been changing things along the way, going, oh, this is better than this, so you need to go here. And, oh, look, I already changed this. In fact, we made a change last Monday when we couldn't go live. We're like, okay, well, let's make this change and go here because it works out better for timing. And so, Colin's been great at this. And so I've been sitting on this, and I made my wife this 13-page color brochure filled with the latest version of Colin's itinerary, with definitions of where all we're going. In fact, we're going to go to Cat Cora's restaurant, which will be closing soon, so that the wife can see one of the Iron Chef's restaurants. and all these different things. And I gave her this. I gave it to her yesterday. All right. All the dads had already opened up all their presents, and so everybody's at the house. There's 20 people at my house. So I tell the wife, I'm like, Angie, come in here, sit down on the couch. You know, I've got something for you. And she goes, what? Why do I got to sit down? What? And giving me a hard time. And it's interesting because the day before when they had gone Father's Day shopping, her and my daughter came home and told me, she's like, yeah, she's still kind of mad at you for that you're going to be gone on your anniversary. And I'm like, well, that's good and bad. I'm like, it's good because it means she doesn't know what's coming. She has no idea what's going to happen. I said it's bad because she's still mad at me. And the reason why I gave her the present before I went on the trip is because I didn't want her mad at me during the trip. All right. So I pull her into the room. There's like 5 cameras pointed at her, including Nate, who's taking video. Which I'd play it, but it's anticlimactic entirely, and I'll explain why. Okay. And so that's going off, and I go, okay, well, everybody, and I explain the situation to everybody. I'm like, listen, I screwed up. I, made plans for our anniversary, so I decided I would just give her present early. And she looks at me like she's going to kill me. All right? And so I give it to her, and it's in it. I had my daughter wrap it up. It's in a sealed envelope, so she has to open it up, and then she just puts it in front of her face and doesn't say anything at all other than, okay, all right, alrighty, and then puts it back in the envelope, and I mean, there's no reaction. I was expecting, like, when a 6-year-old kid on YouTube gets plane tickets, we're going to Disney, yay! I was expecting that. I didn't get anything. In fact, I didn't get any real reaction until today, when I got a text message from her saying that she really did appreciate it, and she was sorry that she didn't, show it more, and because last night it was just really like, I guess she doesn't even, really appreciate this, but, then today she goes, it just had to set in. It had to go in that she was really going. And I've done everything for this trip. So there was really nothing for her left to do, which is odd because normally she's one of the ones that plans part of the vacation and what we're going to do and everything else. So between Colin and I, everything had been taken care of.
To a point.
Yeah, to a point. But I'd already arranged the dogs, being taken care of at the vet. I already arranged for people to watch the house. I already arranged for the 2 children that she watches during the day to have somebody else watch them. And so there was nothing left for her to do. Because she asked me, she's like, well, who knew? Who knew? Did everybody know except for me? And I'm like, no, only the people that absolutely had to know. I had the mail forwarded to my parents' house, so they had to know. The parents of the kids that had to be rewatched, they had to know. But other than that, very few people knew what was going on. Her parents didn't know. They were surprised. So that was my big reveal yesterday, was that, hey, we're going on vacation, and it's not just, up north or to St. Louis or something like that. We're taking a flight, and we're going down to Florida. So I thought it was pretty cool. 12-year anniversary is what this is. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of a late anniversary present. And so, I think it's going to be it's something she's wanted to do, and I think that's going to be worth it. So.
Hey, listen, you're a good man. The only thing that I can say, you'd have been a better man if you had done this and still gotten the date right.
Yeah, I know. I would be a better guy had I done that, but I figured this was had I got the date right, I probably wouldn't have done this.
Here is the lesson learned.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the free tip, and you can still utilize this, and for all our listeners, here's a free tip. I actually give credit to our matron of honor for this. As a belated wedding present, she got this picture made. It's only about that big, but it's hanging up, and on the one side it has the date, 5/26, right?
Mm-hmm.
and it has all the lyrics printed out around it to our wedding song,
Oh, nice.
right? But the date is huge.
So every time you pass it,
So you
you'll
get
never
something
forget.
like that, and
Yeah.
you hang it up. It's a sweet thought. It's your wedding song. So now you're killing three birds with one stone. One, it's a thoughtful gift. Two, it's a constant reminder of what your wedding song was. Three, it's a constant reminder of your anniversary.
Yeah.
So not only is it thoughtful, it's fucking brilliant.
And it's thoughtful and functional. That's what we need in wedding presents, ladies. You know. So now it's in my phone, and I won't forget. You know, because it's on the Google Calendar, which
Okay,
never
I
will
was going to
fail.
say, you know, I used to rely on my phone, and the problem was I didn't realize I lost so much when I went from Windows Mobile to Android, because you know Windows Mobile easily synced with Outlook. So
Yeah.
anytime you get a new phone, you just resync and blah, blah, blah. Android,
Mhm.
fucking fuck.
Yeah. It's all Gmail. It's all Gmail
Yeah,
and Google
everything
Calendar.
important now goes into a Google Calendar.
Yeah. So that's so that's in there, which is she's been bugging me for a while to make it so that she can see my calendar, and I'm like, I can't do that because the vacation's on my calendar already. So.
And it's funny because I actually made Kim create a Google Calendar. Well, I told her I needed a list because she's planning all of these events where we're going to be a vendor going to sell stuff.
Right.
And I said, look, now you're cramping my fucking style because I'm trying to plan when I can go to an actual race with my boys, and I don't want to do it on a weekend when we have a show that you've already committed to. So you gotta give me a list. So what did she do? She made a Google Calendar. Even better. But
Yeah. See, my wife got angry at me because she asked me for a list for Father's Day, and I said I got a Google wish list. I got an Amazon wish list. Just look on it. You know.
I have an Amazon wish list too, but all the stuff on there now is stuff that she refuses to buy me.
I'm like, it's all there. It's all good. It's everything that I want. And so then she comes back to me the next day and goes, I don't want to have to order stuff online for you. Give me something I can buy here in town. And I'm like, but then you'll pay too much. Because it's...
Now see, this is the other thing. Like I have stuff on there for my truck. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have an intake, I have a muffler, I have some other stuff. I said, I even threw it out there. I said, you can always order it. You can go to our mechanic who's right around the corner and say, Mike, listen, I'm going to order this and have it delivered here because I'm getting it as a gift for Mike, and then he could just come and get it installed. And they'd be fine with that. I mean, what the fuck? They put a new goddamn engine in my car, so I paid for a lift or some shit, you know? So...
Yeah. So I told her, I'm like...
She don't want to hear that.
I told her, I'm like, listen, there is stuff on the list from Shields. You can go to Shields and buy it.
That's a giant sporting goods store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a national chain, so I would assume most people know.
What is it?
Shields.
It's not that national.
It ain't in Jersey.
Okay.
I thought you said Shield. I was like, what? He wants a antimatter ray or some shit?
Yes, I went to work with Colson. That's what I want for Father's Day. That would be awesome. Yeah. So that's which I got. I got a cornhole game. For Father's Day.
Time out.
Yes.
Tangent, because it wouldn't be a show if we didn't have at least a dozen tangents. Did you know that Colson is married to Jennifer Grey?
No.
Yes.
Well, that's cool. That's pretty nice.
Which makes me wonder, does he put baby in the corner? Or has that line ever been used as a reference in the bedroom? Like, yeah, I'm putting baby in the corner. That's right.
What's her... I need to see her latest picture, because she looked bad for a while, but, you know, maybe she looks better now. Are we sure that they're married? Because I'm looking at Jennifer Grey, and I'm seeing movies, Nose Job, Dirty Dancing, Young, Patrick Swayze, Johnny Depp, but I don't see anything about Coulson.
You're
you
in
know,
the wrong spot. Biography.
spouse Greg Clark. Okay, I gotcha. I'm in
Clark,
it now.
Greg, see, ha ha ha.
All right, I found it. You're right.
Make a ding.
I make a ding. Is that what you said?
Yes, I did.
This is where I wish I had my digital mixer, because then I just could have made that into a little, isolation. I make a ding. Oh well. All right. Well, that's cool.
I will record that for you.
So, that is interesting. I did not know that.
When I ride my bike, I have my phone on the handlebars, timing me and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I've been thinking it'd be really good if I could like tap the phone and have it do the ring sound
The
for
ding.
me. So I need that sound clip. So as I'm passing by somebody, I make a ding, I make a ding, I make a ding.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Let's see here. Let's do some more news, because there hasn't been enough in this show.
So we will have more Disney stuff coming up. I think
Yes.
for the episode before Shaggy goes to Disney, we're going to have a list of preconceptions about Disney World.
Yeah.
And we need that from you too, Mike. Your preconceptions of Disney World.
I can tell you right now, I know one of my preconceptions, which will be accurate, because the only thing I'm going to say about timing is that sometime in July.
Yes.
Hot.
And crowded. Yes.
Hot. It's good.
Yes.
I'm talking like Africa hot.
All right,
That's what it's going to be.
I was telling Kim about this.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing, because you were privy to it, because I had shared some bad news before the last show last week that I may or may not make it, and that's when you told us through email what was going on.
Right.
I told Kim about it, and she was like, I would go to Disney, but it would have to be to Epcot during the flower show. I said, what? You've been watching HGTV again, haven't you? She said, yes, because they had a commercial about it. And I said, well, you know what? Honestly, if you only wanted to do Epcot, we could probably do that in a long weekend. Right? Fly down Friday, go to Epcot all day Saturday, and come home Sunday. But you have to promise me that after you're done seeing all the flowers, we drink around the world.
Well, try to get her to the Food and Drink Festival instead.
No, that wouldn't work. No, it would have to be the flower. Reality, we'd probably need a couple of days because she don't go on any rides. So it would be Epcot for the flower show, and then we need a day to see the Animal Kingdom.
Yep.
And that's all she'd care about. She don't give a shit about movies. She don't give a shit about Mickey Mouse or Pirates of the Caribbean or any of the shit in Magic Kingdom. So
I will tell you one of the things I'm going to try to do. I haven't even discussed this with the wife yet, but one of the things, because I think I've earned a couple of favors here with this, is I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I know I'm going to get myself out of the doghouse and maybe earn a favor, but I'm going to try to meet up with at least one of the guys from A Little Punch Drunk, because they're based out of Florida and they know the parks, and so I'm going to see if I can at least meet up with them for lunch or something.
the only way that I think your best bet, I'll offer my opinion. Your best bet, it's just you and the wife going, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right, so no kids?
No kids.
Just you two.
Which is great, because when I told Rambo this, he gave me all the advice for kids. What kids would like, what kids wouldn't like. And I'm like, it's just me and the wife, and okay, I'll take your kid advice because the wife will probably need it.
Here's my advice to you.
Do
you have a night where you're going to go hang out at like downtown Disney?
You know what? We haven't figured out all to that detail yet. So
okay. Here's what I would do.
Would you just casually run into each other?
I would. That's how she would see it. I would set it up that we're going to downtown Disney to just walk around and drink, and there's like the last time I was there, they still had like a murder mystery dinner theater kind of thing, and they had the clubs, they had the bands playing on the stage, and then they had another club that had the dance floor that revolved. It was like a giant record, you know, and you walked around and you drank from, you know, it was like the adult section of Disney.
Yeah.
Well,
some of it's closed now, but yeah.
okay, but that's where you go one night. And you figure it out ahead of time. And you tell Rambo, we're going to be here around this time, and I'm going to be wearing the orange shirt.
Yeah.
And run into each other. This way, it doesn't look pre-planned. It doesn't look like you've set it up. You don't have to cash in a favor. And if he offers to buy you guys a drink right away, which you could slip him a 20 for afterwards, then he seems like a good guy, and y'all can hang out. That's how I would play it.
Yeah, like
That's
I said,
just me.
there's more planning yet to be done for the whole trip, and so we're gonna see how things go. The wife is just ecstatic that she'll get to meet Mickey again. That's her big. She wants a picture with Mickey. That's the big thing. And I'm like, well, there's a chance that there might be a Mickey at the bus that takes us to the hotel. I'm like, you know, there's a chance that there'll be Mickeys everywhere. Who the hell knows?
There'll be. We'll talk.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I know that I can find out where the characters are going to be on the damn phone. The phone tells me where the characters are and when.
Yeah.
So you can stalk them.
You can even get fast passes to see if they get to the characters.
Oh, Jesus. A bit extreme. So,
when you're there for little kids...
Yeah, that's useful, I'm sure.
And that's the big thing you're there for, because I've done that last year. Yeah, that's nice.
Now, here's another tip.
Okay.
That is not well documented. If someone in your group is handicapped...
No, it doesn't work anymore.
Really?
Yep.
So, like, the wheelchair doesn't work to get you to the front of the line?
Nope.
That would have been one of my... Okay, there you go. There's a misconception.
They got rid of that specifically because people were paying for people to take them through the parks.
I remember us doing a story about that, actually.
Yes.
Rent a disabled guy.
Yes.
Was a big thing. That was... And now, I think that still works at Six Flags. I think they still let wheelchairs go to the front.
Six Flags is a joke. Right now, have you guys ever heard of Action Park?
No.
Okay, it was a park in New Jersey that had a nickname of Traction Park.
Okay.
As in, you will go into traction because it's so fucking dangerous.
Okay. I'm not sure that that's a good thing.
It closed down. You'll have to Google it because Action Park has a very dubious history. It closed down. In the wintertime, it was a ski resort, Vernon Valley.
Okay.
Vernon Valley Great Gorge. It reopened a while back as Mountain Creek. So it was a water park-ish. Well, the owners decided to bring the name Action Park back. And what is the first thing that shows up in the publicity photos for the reopening? Water-powered jetpack.
Did you see the water-powered hoverboard that was out today?
Don't you ever say the word hoverboard on this unless you're telling me it's true with facts.
Well, okay, it's not it's a water board. I don't know what you want to call it though, because it's kind of like a jet ski, but there's no shell. It's just on a board. It's like the whole guts of the jet ski and everything's underneath water, and the pressurized water comes through a pipe, which goes through the back, the ass end of the snowboard that they're on.
Wave jet. Personal water propulsion. This gas-powered surfboard can hit 35 miles an hour without a wave.
This was...
Jet surf. The ultimate... What is this?
This was...
Is this it?
This is... let's see here. I should be able to bring this up. Here, I can do this.
While you do that, XKCD covered rocket packs today. That rocket packs are easy. The hard part is inventing the calf shields.
Okay, so here, so as soon as this gets done with this little prep, I'll cut over and you'll see the it in progress, hopefully. Yeah.
Why is it that I'm latching on to the fat guy running?
Pulling the kid behind him?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It is kind of funny. Yeah, that is kind of funny. But so it was. But I mean, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool little board, don't you think?
That is a very cool board.
It looks like a great. Holy crap! Hello, this is PTR. Hello. All right, never mind. The call's not going to work. Just turn off the phone.
It sounded more like we were getting butt dialed than we were.
Yeah, it did. But it's an interesting little gadget, and we'll see what happens. The video's really neat when you watch the whole thing.
I have that beat.
Okay.
I'm sending you a picture from the Wikipedia article about Action Park.
Okay.
Let me know when you see it.
I see it.
That's a water slide.
With a loop.
Yes! The cannonball loop.
So you're going to do a 360. That doesn't look safe at all.
No. That is the wrong angles. That's a neck breaker.
They might as well just have called that the paralyzer.
And then what happens if you go sideways and slow down? Now you're just kind of
stuck.
After a few attempts, or after a few test runs, they finally had to put a hatch at the top of the loop.
In case people got stuck. Oh, that's funny. So, yeah, it's just fun stuff in general. I tell you. But yeah, the hoverboard I just saw today, and I'm like, oh, this is neat. It's better than that other stupid hoverboard that Christopher
Tony
Lloyd
Hawk
did.
was pimping.
Yeah, the fake one, totally fake, garbage one. So.
All I know is I finally resolved to the fact that we're never going to see the hoverboards in our lifetime, which is probably why I've been depressed lately, because that reality has finally sunk in.
Yeah.
It's just not right.
No, we're not going to see transporters or hoverboards or warp drive.
Heck, at this rate, I don't think we're going to see anybody get back to the moon within our lifetimes.
Nah, that's really sad. Although I did read this whole space thing. I read an article about warp drive.
Yeah.
And did you read that same article?
Yeah.
About the one that makes it look like the Vulcan ship? Because that was really cool. Oh, that was a little punch drunk trying to call.
I figured that's who it was.
Trying to correct us about our misconceptions about certain attractions, which we'll have the phone figured out for next week. Sorry, guys. We are operating under less than ideal situations right now. Just simply because our rig is a piece of crap. So,
okay, not for nothing. I just Googled this warp drive, and this doesn't look like the Vulcan ship. This looks like something out of Iron Sky.
Well, the whole idea is having you're looking at one with a donut basically around the ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they contrasted it to the early Vulcan ships, which had the single sphere around the back end of it.
Yeah, they actually talked to designers of Star Trek in helping design the thing.
Yeah. But it was weird because they found that because warp drive was possible, but it was nowhere near probable because of the amount of energy. And they said, well, what if we just flip it? And so they turned the damn thing 90 degrees and thought, this takes a quarter of the power. We don't have to burn up Saturn to make a warp drive now.
But I have no idea how to make a warp drive.
Yeah, we
but
don't.
If we knew how to make a warp drive,
theoretically, this is possible with a lot less power now.
Yes.
And
it's hilarious to me that we can design a ship designed for warp drive. We just can't design the warp drive.
Yeah. So, I don't know. One of these days it will happen, though. I mean, it's got to happen. Damn it. It's a whole lot of wasted space.
Yeah.
If we don't get out there. Besides, we've got other planets to conquer. That's what we're good at.
I was
we put them on reservation planets.
They said there's actually parts of the universe now that are so far away from us that they're unreachable.
Not if we had stargates.
Meaning, light from here would never get there. Light cannot go fast enough to catch up with those things that are so far away.
How far it's spreading? Okay, makes sense.
It's actually what they're saying is that thing is actually traveling faster than the speed of light in relation to us.
Yeah. Well, because it's 2 points going away from each other essentially. So,
right.
Yeah.
So for all intents and purposes, it no longer exists.
Yeah. It just sucks. So, kind of like the dogs barking right now really sucks, but it happens.
Yep.
All right, Mike. One more article, then we're out of here. And I think what we will go to, because it's always a good thing to go to, is Seattle doctor, sex during surgery.
What?
Yes. Arthur Zyberstein, a doctor, is accused of sending sex during surgery. He's lost his medical license as a result. The dirty texts were sent to a patient and read like something out of 50 Shades of Grey. Zyberstein, who worked at the Swedish Medical Center, was also accused of sending X-rated selfies, wearing his hospital scrubs and a badge with his genitals exposed, and one alleged exchange suggested he was nearly caught in the act. Essentially, somebody was watching this guy send sexy text while he was administering anesthesia.
Okay, so he's an anesthesiologist?
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to figure out how he was keeping his hands clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
While being dirty.
Yeah, because not everybody has to scrub up in the OR. But I still want their attention on me.
Yeah.
I've had one small surgery. And, one small surgery. And two, but only one of them actually that I have to be put under for. And I want everybody doing their job, not checking Instagram or, catching up on Facebook or worse yet, playing Farmville. I don't want that happening. All right? I want them doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing at the time they're supposed to be doing it or practicing for when they're supposed to be doing it.
Do people still play Farmville?
No,
I don't know.
Simpsons. Family Guy.
What's the phrase?
The last surgery that I had, my doctor was about 1 month away from giving birth. So I think it's safe to say she was not trying to have any kind of sex.
Well, up until the water breaks, you can you still have sexy time. saying.
Yeah, no.
But I just this was actually it's just crazy because the median salary for an anesthesiologist in the U.S. Any guess on what it could be?
$100K.
130.
$349,261.
Jesus Christ.
Dangerous job.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's just, I mean, next to actually being the surgeon,
yeah.
the anesthesiologist has a difficult job because he have to they're standing there looking at the heart, beats and stuff, just turning that little crank back and forth. It's really easy to kill somebody.
I want him watching the gauge, not pulling his pants forward and snapping a pick.
I want to be an important patient, not Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just almost $350,000 sending text, sending sexy text
Now,
while doing it.
This is my stupid logic here. An anesthesiologist, I'm not downplaying the importance of their job. But how much schooling is required to be an anesthesiologist?
A lot.
Well, they're a doctor just as much as a doctor.
They're a doctor.
See, that's where my brain is demented. Because, like, there's certain chemicals that you use to put them under, and you have to keep stuff. To me, it's like operating a machine, right? You learn. And you have to tweak based on the heart rate and the respiration, and, there's calculations for the weight and age and all of that shit. But
all the different things that can knock you out interfere with different types of medicine. So you have to know what pills they're actually taking, what injections, what their weight is, and you figure out from that which particular drugs you're going to be giving. And you may have to give like multiple drugs of different things because they took this one pill 2 weeks ago.
That to me was I always thought that was the doctor's job. The anesthesiologist is just a.
You think he's just a button monkey?
Well, yeah. Out of all the people in the operating room, I always thought the anesthesiologist is the first one that's going to be replaced by a robot.
No, I think I think the nurses are going to be the first ones replaced by robots.
Well, no, because as long as you have human doctors, you have to have human nurses to interact.
Anybody can hand him a scalpel. Anything can hand him a scalpel. Anything can wipe his brow.
But the nurses also provide. Okay, the wiping in the brow, you got me, because like they could design a headband that provides minor suction to suck any sweat away, but
the Sweat Sucker 2000.
But if he's out there, Reba sack, Hobbit sober, sack, scalpel, suction, the nurse can look and see. Okay, he just asked for suction. There's a lot of blood. That's where I have to do the suction.
That's where I have to suck. So when the doctor says suck, the nurse says, okay, where do you want me to suck?
Yes. So nurses, the anesthesiologist though, you have the sensor monitoring the heart rate, monitoring respiration, monitoring blood pressure, monitoring all the vitals. The computer can automatically figure out how to adjust everything. That's why I think the anesthesiologist will be the first to replace by a robot. However, bullshit union labor and Obamacare will prevent that from happening.
Blame it on Obama? You're going to blame it on Obama?
Blame it on unions.
Blame it on unions and Obamas.
Yes.
Blame it on Obama unions.
Yes.
So gay
that is correct.
Obama unions is what you're blaming it on.
Black homosexual union.
Okay.
With fake birth certificates.
That's what's going to be the downfall of society. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right.
Or not. I don't know. It's either them or Miley Cyrus. I don't know.
or it could be Justin Bieber. It could happen.
Now he's Canadian. They can't do anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
we already decided we can't deport him.
Justin Bieber, Canadian, leads me to another thought.
Celine
Have you
Dion.
guys seen this viral video of the guy lip syncing "All by Myself" by Celine Dion in McCarran Airport in Las Vegas?
No.
No.
Okay. This guy that apparently his flight was delayed or what have you, and he videotaped himself on his iPhone and made like a lip sync video to "All by Myself" by Celine Dion.
Mm-hmm.
And Celine Dion saw it and said, the next time you're in Las Vegas, you can come hang with me at my show and blah, blah, blah. There is a theory out there that I am subscribed to. I agree with. That this is all a viral marketing campaign for Las Vegas tourism.
No, very well could be.
You don't see a single other person in this video. Las Vegas, McCarran International Airport.
I think what it is Jimmy Kimmel's going to come out from the side clapping, going, good work, give him, put his arm around him.
That fucking guy. Yeah, could be.
All right, we got to get out of here because we got to make way for a little Punch Drunk who's coming in next at CWE Radio. At CWEradio.com, you can check out all their shows. If you want to learn more about PTR Radio, just go to our website, PTRradio.com, and you can find out all about our Celebrity Death Pool, our previous episodes, how to subscribe to the podcast, basically everything and anything that you could possibly want to know is all out there. So until then, we're going to be back in 2 weeks. We're back on a regular week now, right? I don't know. Okay, so we'll be back on the 23rd. All right. So next week, 23rd, we'll be back. So you guys stay tuned. Until then, stick fork in the smokes because we are done. Later.